What's up, guys and girls? So this is a concept that has been brewing in my mind for the last several months, and basically it makes sense because you're graduating college and you don't know what you're gonna do. And I used to have that cushion of I'll go to post grad school, whether that ends up being medical or dental school or grad school. And I don't have that cushion anymore because I decided that's not really the path for me. And I used to think, oh, I'll do that. At least then I'll have more time to decide what I'll actually do. But that's really not the case with those sort of things. It's like you go there to pursue a greater education in something you've already decided you want to pursue. Um, but the whole point of this video, as you've probably seen by the title, is this whole idea of how life is just so simple and boring in a way. You grow up, you go to school, you get a job, you get married, you get kids, and then you let your kids do the whole thing all over again, and that's about it for you. And I always for a while now, just I've been thinking about that, and it's just like I don't want that. It's too boring, it's too simple. I don't want that at all. And some people are fine with it because for whatever reason they're content with that. But for me, not so much. And I guess I the thing that defines it the best is actually a quote from Doctor Who. Um, Basically, in this TV show, it was said something along the lines of, um, "I used to think life would be very simple," and then he said what I just said: grow up, get a job, get married, etc., etc. And then at the end, he said, "But it's not so simple like that. There's a lot. Life is a lot more." I think he used the word interesting, or maybe not interesting. He said the word scary and strange and weird, and then it cut off, and that was the end of the episode. You have to watch the episode to figure out what I'm talking about. It's the 2005 series, season 2, episode like 12 or 13. And I agree with that. I really agree with that. But we'll see. We'll see. And um, I think it's true. The long story short, it's like no matter how fast life flies, I mean, this winter break, it flew at times, but at the same times, it went very slow. What I did was I made the most of what I could. Um, and I think that my theory is that those who have a lot going for them, they never experience these sort of worries because they always have something interesting going on a day-to-day basis. And that's not everyone, which is why I'm making this video out to reach those like me. Because you know, if you're an attractive girl, you're probably invited to parties and events. Even more so than that, let's say you are an actress or something, or a model, or some, I don't know, something where you see it on Instagram or Twitter. They just have these ridiculous lifestyles every day where no, it's not drugs or alcohol constantly, but they're constantly out doing something. And I think one of the things that I sort of resonate with is I've mentioned this before. There's this YouTube channel called Simple Pickup. These three guys who do like these pickup videos, and also occasionally prank videos. On their second channel, they show what their life is like at times. They film certain special events, and I'm sure their life isn't constantly all action. I mean, I'd probably get tired out of it. But get this, they just out of the blue on one day they went parasailing, and they went with a few very no, they went with one attractive girl in a bikini, and I just thought that is something pretty darn cool. Um, and then it's just stuff like this. Um, Life doesn't have to be so boring. You don't have to make it so boring. And I mean that I know that's hard to say when it kind of is where I'm at right now. Um, but I try to make the most of it. In my sort of small town, when I'm not in school for the last 2 months of winter break, I did what I could. I took a winter class, and I had a lot of free time, so I read books that would enrich myself, although they got somewhat boring. But I was enriched nonetheless. I'm in the middle of one now. It's called Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. And I'm just going about life, just trying to get the most out of it. And no, I'm not invited to parties. No, there's really nothing to do in my town. No, the best thing is the mall and the movie theater. There's only so much you can do there. But I'm making the most of it. And yes, I spend a lot of time watching TV shows like Doctor Who, but I enjoyed it as much as I could. Um, so it's a scary thing, and um, for those of you who think, you know what, this life is so boring, so idiotic, um, and you won't accept it for whatever reason. For me, I couldn't accept it because I just felt I can't even describe it. I just felt like there's more to life than that, and there's the potential for me to experience that and enjoy it. But it's hard to get to, and I guess we'll all work on it together. But long story short, you know what? If your goals are like get a job, get married, and so forth, those are just big events. I mean, life in between those events can go really slow, and you usually have a lot more free time than you think, to do what you want. And sometimes, sure, you're going to have to grind and work to get there, but we'll all try and get through it, I guess, what I'm saying. Um, so, yeah, I think what I'm going to do, and if I advise any of you who are interested to do something similar, um, just write down a list or type it up of your long-term goals. Um, and for me, these are things that will make me happy, that will interest me, that's an awesome lifestyle. Um, and sure, it's hard to get to them right now, but I'll slowly work towards them. And one of those things will be making friends, because I feel like if I had more friends, um, and specific friends, because um, a lot of friends are like bad friends won't get you anywhere. I'm sure if I made bad friends who did the same thing, which I know are out there, um, I'd probably be either doing drugs or like okay, neutral friends. Even if I met like neutral friends, not necessarily bad friends, if all they did was play video games and watch Doctor Who as well, I wouldn't be really getting anywhere, right? um, so at least for me, like, just as example, um, I'm going to be more specific once I think about it and write it down, but long-term goals, an exciting lifestyle, one where there's friends, but also girls and activities I enjoy. Um, and getting a job isn't just a long, overreaching sort of process. I mean, it, in the long run, one of my goals is to find a job where I can make a living with and still love to death to do. That's one of the sayings out there. Find a job you can do that you enjoy, because then you'll never have to work a day in your life. But that's hard to find, and you have to be really lucky. So those are my long-term goals, and I feel like, um, yeah, surrounding yourself with beautiful women in your lifestyle and having a great lifestyle is not an easy feat. Otherwise, um, if it just was put onto me like in on a silver platter, I probably wouldn't be here. Not everyone gets that served to them immediately. Um, but I'm gonna. The next step would be find little ways of figuring out how I can do that. So I'd probably write stuff like, actually go out and talk to people. Maybe take more initiative. That's one of my problems. Sometimes I'll be friendly, they'll be friendly, and then I don't take any initiative, and I never see them again, or have any way of contacting any of them. So I don't know. One step at a time. And again, the last thing would be take baby steps, because if you, for me, to that goal is like a giant leap. And if I think too far ahead, I'm going to get in my head and it's going to be too big a leap for me. So I'm going to baby step it and set tiny, tiny goals, but keep in mind my bigger goal. But yeah, so whatever that may be, I just think a lifestyle where there's just occasional, blips of fun and awesomeness. That's great. And that's all I gotta say. So as always, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe.